Decades ago, at the advent of computer technology, a monumental discovery was made. A discovery you are likely not privy to unless you are from a very select few on this earth. You see, a link was found. A link between the mechanics of digital code and the workings of the human spirit. This discovery manifested in the creation of what we now call empathy drives. These empathy drives, to put it simply, are relics or totems which, when in contact with, allow for the human spirit to interface with computer programs, and this discovery, as one would imagine, led to an immediate benefit in the lives of humans, and also in the existence of their budding technological counterparts. Video games represented the apex of this marriage of soul and control, the interfacing of man's machines and the machine that is man. The spiritual reward of playing great games while equipped with an empathy drive was an encouraging sight to the world at large, and the future seemed undeniably bright. This new dawn, however, did have its inevitable twilight. We call him the developer. He descended on the souls who were creating these games and infused them with dark magic and necromancy, twisting them into caustic tools set to enforce his will upon the masses. He discovered these tools that were once used for spiritual healing could be used instead as tools of unspeakable carnage and could ravage the spirits of those who played through their twisted levels. The entire world was brought to the very brink of destruction. All would have been lost if not for 7 brave souls who dared to challenge his reign of terror. Sacrificing themselves physically and metaphysically, they created the ultimate weapon to combat and defeat the developer. The Master Pad. The ultimate controller. The sticks of evil's bane. The resulting conflict seemingly banished the developer, but at great cost. The spirits of the 7 sages who stood against him were scattered to 7 random games, and was seemingly lost for all time. Video games have surprisingly lived on despite the once prevalent use of empathy drives falling into arcane legend. Game developers, or game devils as we in the know like to call them, continue to make games, but for the most part their creations are pleasant, innocuous experiences for those who play them. However, from time to time, these game devils release a game that seems to have been birthed in the dark heart of the developer himself. Some would even speculate that his dark power is rising to a head once more through the darkness of these games. But there are still a select few who know of the empathy drive's propensity for combating this darkness and their ability to purify the taint left by the developer. This is the story of the deliberate purpose behind lines of code and its courage in the face of uncertainty. Transcending history and the world. A tale of soul and control, eternally retold.
Ages ago, when the chaos preceding the Trump regime, there was a socialist in California called Ianaugural, the Noob Slayer. At this time, there existed the underground gaming syndicate known as the Black Arcade, which claimed tens of thousands of lives and no buttons barred death matches. Amidst the raging and tool assisting, he played his way to the top. He was the strongest. However, he disappeared into thin air as the chaos of the Black Arcade era drew to a close. His whereabouts became a mystery. He has become a man of legend. Day 777. I have been sent to find a mutual acquaintance of his and my creator. I have been tracking him for over 2 years, but I may have finally located him in the remote northwestern town of Raccoon Hill. I am very close now. I cannot lose my way.
Sorry, pal. Not open for business yet. Huh? Who are you?
Apologies, but you must be the one mistaken. I do not adhere to PAL or any other form of regional coding. I am a fully automated intelligence retaining information emissary. I am more easily referred to as the Fairy, Yoshimi Mark 1.0.
Pleasure.
I I don't know what that is, but I do experience a small degree of vicarious resolution at the sight of others' joy, as I am programmed to do. I am here merely as an emissary of my maker, Wanda Tendo.
The Black Arcade. In that case, come in. I'll put some tea on, try to enjoy it for both of us.
I'd like you liking that very much. I'm vexed by a realization that my master did not mention me to you.
Oh, I apologize. She did mention you. I just thought you were a cat from the way she talked about you. I'm not exactly sure why she would ask you to find me, though.
I was given no order or programming to find you. I merely observed that you were a 99% match in facial recognition to the last person that my maker was in direct contact with. I'm seeking an acquaintance of hers named Ian. Might you have a twin brother with less symmetrical facial scarring?
Yes. Well, no. Yeah, I think she was talking about me. I was the last person who saw her before she... Second scar, that's a long story. You might want to have a seat or land.
Too long, don't recall. I've already spent 2 years trying to find you with just a face and first name. Would you please tell me what the last place that you saw Wanda?
The Black Arcade.
I must away.
Don't bother trying to find her. She's not there.
Where is she then?
She's dead. I killed her.
Programming, repurposing. My new objective is to find a Mr. Destructible, another acquaintance of Wanda's.
Hold on. You have no reaction to her being dead?
I don't react, Ian. There was an infinitesimal and vacuous moment where I lacked all purpose, so I repurposed, and now I must find Mr. Destructible.
Well, that was fast.
There is no better time to find purpose than when it has been lost entirely.
No response to me killing her?
I was not programmed to question her intentions or the company that she kept.
That's harsh.
Hardly. Now, if you don't mind telling me where I might find Mr. Destructible.
Well, I don't know if this is good news, but I'm him too.
Unlikely, she always made a point to refer to the two of you separately.
That's a long story too. Why do you need to find him and me?
My newly acquired purpose is to stop the ever-mounting cataclysm being brought about by the developer. I will achieve this by removing the 7 sacred seals and unlocking the master pad to allow my chosen champion to defeat the developer at his own game, so to speak. It's the purpose I was to assume in the event of Wanda's demise. My first objective in the program sequence is to find Mr. Destructible and have him purify Wanda's lost relic.
Lost relic. Oh no. Oh god, no.
Has the relic been lost?
No, hasn't been lost.
The Lost World. For PlayStation 1.
Just beat the game with an empathy drive. You're already wearing one.
You know anything about this game? It's not that simple. If I die while playing the game wearing an empathy drive, I'll sustain a great injury in real life.
Don't die in the game then.
You really know nothing about this game, do you?
Researching. For the love of code, this game was forged by DreamWorks Interactive, some of the most diabolic and dark game devils of our era. Not only that, but it was published by Electronic Arts. My one-sentence review? Woe is to the soul who gets guilt-tripped into playing this game. You should still beat it, though.
Please. Find somebody else.
I was given the exact order as part of a program, repurposing to find you and have you purify the dark soul of this corrupted game. I have no additional goal. It was Wanda's last request, before she died, at your hand.
That's not the point. My hands are volatile. I can't risk using them when they hurt people I care about.
I don't compute. The rules of the Black Arcade were such that only one person who entered the tournament was allowed to leave with their life. You've proved your capability and have no culpability. You're more than capable of beating this game, even with 2 years of muscle amnesia.
She was... I loved her. Just leave me be.
I cannot. That is, I was specifically programmed to deny that request until the completion of program.
Just move on.
I'm incapable of doing so. That is, until you do so.
Yeah, well, what if I die while playing this game?
I will move to the next program in my queue.
Fine. I'll play the fucking game.
I will record the footage for educational and critical purposes.
Sounds fair.
Hold on to your butts.
The game's cover has a lot of promise. You're the T-Rex. Well, alright. And would you look at that? The CD even has that familiar Jurassic Park logo on it. Except without any teeth? I hope that's not a metaphor for the quality of this game. The opening levels have you playing as Galley... I guess we'll just call him the Compy for now. And I really hope you like these cool intros to each species that you play as, because they are literally the best part of the game. It is immediately made clear that the developers of this game had the utmost evil dwelling in their hearts, as my third attack whiffs. Now there are some somewhat promising features at work here. For example, you can eat the corpses of fallen enemies, and there's a nifty little instinct meter which when built up lets you fight against larger dinosaurs. This would be great if A, the combat didn't suck, and B, the main enemy in the game turns out to be the mediocre platformer. Now the Compy, as the lowest character on the food chain, has a pretty limited moveset. He can do basic attacks, jump, he interestingly enough can whip out a barrel roll, and do whatever the fuck this is. Oh, I guess it's pronounced Chama. Now these opening levels are actually the best levels in the game. They introduce you to the game mechanics, it being a soft platformer with some combat elements. The thing that really strikes me is just how clunky the platforming is. You kinda hold in a direction with no real momentum and then you jump at varying heights based on your non-existent momentum. It just seems inconsistent and clunky throughout.
Death finds a way.
This brings me to my second issue with the game's platforming, the 2.5D graphics. The game functions as a two-dimensional platformer in every way. That is, the only two directions to move in are left and right. This is fine, but in an effort to make the most of that beast-ass PS1 hardware, they took the basis of a 2D platformer and placed the visual genes of a 3D game to fill in the holes and complete the code!
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
A fact they were so proud of, they mentioned it on the back of the box 3 fucking times. Which leads to awkward shit like this. And you know a game's controls are bad when the fucking water level has the best controls of any of them. So you complete the water level and Jesus fucking Christ, this guy's trying to shoot a Compy with the bazooka! How wretched and full of malice must this man's heart be? He's literally the worst thing to happen to human-Compy relations since the boundless hatred of Peter Stormare.
At least he loved Volkswagens.
So we finally beat the Compy levels, which means we're moving on up to the Human Hunter. And we better be good, or else. The dinosaurs are gonna have sex with us, I guess? The Hunter has a bit more varied tool set at his disposal. He has a badass grappling hook, which can shoot in a stunning 2 directions, and a variety of guns that he can pick up and use to fry some evil dinosaurs. He also has a fucking power slide! Unfortunately, as the hunter, we get the most trying level in the whole fucking game. It starts out with the Dimorphodon who will not fucking die. Fucking trying! I'm fucking trying! Who is this fucking guy?
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
If you can somehow make it past Dimorphodon, then you got this fucker camping the ledge.
This level is fucking ridiculous.
You got another guy right behind him, and then guess what? More Dimorphodons, some of which come flying at you as you're trying to complete jumps. What the fuck is this shit?
Never surrender!
Now that we've beaten that level, it's on to even stricter grappling hook platforming. Now you're in the sunken place. Where the fuck did she come from? Girl's so clever she just skydove out of fucking grad school. Now that the human levels are finally behind us, maybe we can finally play as the T-Rex? You are planning on having the T-Rex in your game that says, "You're the T-Rex" on the cover, huh?
I really hate that man.
So what's it like to play as the deadly Velociraptor? Well, let me show ya.
Oh, it's grabbed hold of me! Oh, it's grabbed hold of me! Oh, it's grabbed hold of me!
More like a 6-foot turkey. 6-foot turkey.
Jumpin' Jack Flash, it's a gas count!
The Raptor levels for the most part are pretty underwhelming, except we then finish off the Velociraptor levels with a stunningly well-designed boss fight.
Don't get it twisted! This raptor shit is mine, motherfucker! It's not a fucking game! Fuck fucking birds! It's what you're fearing!
Chaos.
It's what you're fearing!
Chaos.
It's what you're fearing!
Chaos.
Rex gon' give it to you. Fuck waiting you to gather up my bones. Rex gon' deliver to you. Chomp chomp, ripping off the door. It's real with the non-stop. Pop and change it there. Bite hard, getting dizzy with it. I got such a big mouth, I'll fit whole motherfuckers in it. Damn right, and I'll do it again, cause I need help, so I put you in. Eat Ed with the enemy. Well, no matter how many cats I eat Ed with a spare will you make me see. Doing this for millions of years. Rappers wanna eat me, eat these kids. You against me against you. Whatever, rap the fuck you gon' do. First we're gonna bite, then we're gonna roll, then we're gonna rock, stop, let it go.
Well, that was over quick.
Well, I've beaten the segment of the game that makes me play as the T-Rex, and if I'm moving up the food chain, that must mean I somehow have to play as a more apex predator than the T-Rex. What predator could that possibly be? Well, I think we all know the answer. Julianne motherfucking Moore!
Jesus Christ.
Julianne Moore. And as the apex predator, we get the pleasure of the final boss fight. Against who else but a T-Rex. Wait a second, I thought I was the T-Rex. I guess it's one of those pseudo-philosophical boss fights where you fight against yourself? Well, that's over easily enough. Oh, and for the love of Jeff Goldblum, there's two. I can't do it. What was it you used to always say? No matter what, no matter how? Don't die like this, brother.
No. No.
Lightning Jutsu Nightmare Fanning
Think we'll have that on the tour?
Ugh, it's finally over.
I must away.
Wait. Today's got me thinking a lot. I'd like to go with you, if I could. I've been thinking for a long time about hunting down evil in some of these games and trying to do something with that. What is it you said? It's times when all purpose is lost that are the easiest times to find purpose.
It is an arduous journey, especially for a mortal. You have a long way to go.
I'm just glad to have a way to go. What's that?
How's this on? Can you hear me? It's on.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello. If you can hear me, congratulations. Way to go. You made it through. You spent all that time, and now you're done. You did it. That's quite an achievement. My gosh, you looked a 20-foot carnivore right in the eye, and you've lived to tell about it. Well, you are something.
Thanks for the challenge.
Thank you for sticking with it, for not giving up. That is really something. Now you know what you should do? Turn the thing off, for heaven's sakes, and go outside. You know, breathe the air, take a walk, call a member of the opposite sex. You know what I'm talking about. You know, you have a whole life out there. Get the stink blown off you. Just go, really. Turn off. You.
What happened next? Well, nothing really. We began to search for the 6 remaining corrupted games, and that was it. I still have a job to do, which is far from done, to remove the source of such corruption from the world. I need to ensure that monsters like the Lost World will never come about again. And he promised to help me hunt down the games, even though it'll hurt him to do so. Now I realize there are games evil as any monster, as well as brave and compassionate gamers in this universe. At least I've found one so-called gamer who is able to shed blood and tears for those he cares about. That's enough for me to believe in him.